You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
This episode of Breaking Down the Ring is brought to you by Chawla Legal Group Estate Planning. Estate planning is for everyone. Whether you're worth $4,000 or $40 million, estate planning can help protect you, your family, and your assets while you're alive and well. Damn. To register for an upcoming workshop today, go to chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157. Again, that's chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157.
What the Rock is cooking.
In a week that really has no build-up to any type of pay-per-view, even though it should, because goddamn, it's just less than 14 days away, WWE decided one match is all you need to know. On top of that, you had some fun finishes in NXT. You had the Lexicon of Les Champions in AEW. And we're going to get into all that and more this week as we
break the ring down.
Woo! You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list. This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
And you're listening
to...
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Break it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Not Nick fucking Bockwinkel.
I'm just Smitty today.
And I am the almighty one, the Mikey himself, the guy who has no future. Because you can tell it's not bright. He's not wearing shades. Mikey.
Welcome back.
Hey, man.
What's up, bitch?
I appreciate you guys Stevie Wondering for me because obviously I'm been John Cena this month because you can't see me.
You can kind of see me.
Kind of see you.
Well, as long as the lights are on, you can see me.
Unless you smile.
Or on the new iPhone, the dark mode. What's up, dog? There you are. You're available in all your HD glory. That's huge dick.
I'm unlocked in the new iPhone.
Yes, you are. You are no longer a character that has to be purchased in DLC.
Finally, freedom.
First, I want to say what's up to Devin. Devin from Knockouts and Three Counts. He is watching. He says, hi, guys. And then he says, Mikey Nichols, I hope you don't take the ass whipping I'm about to put you on in this fantasy playoff personally. He's the number 1 seed. I'm the number 4 seed. And motherfucker, will you not believe? Upset alert, bitch. You about to get bammered.
Damn. Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Got 2 weeks, though.
Motherfucker. This episode of Breaking Down the Ring brought to you by this green can. Not the people that make it.
Fountain Spew.
Counting crew. Down to poo. Round of 2. Ew. Loud and
fight.
Spew. Trout and Deuce. I don't know. We were just rhyming, right? Because we're from Detroit. That's what we do is we battle rap. Chicka chicka. Battle rap. Napkins. Blamkins.
God damn it. Why do you remind me of that Macho Man rap CD? when you did that right there.
That was Chris D'Elia doing his Eminem impression, but okay, whatever. So look, man, there was a bunch of wrestling that happened this week. NWA is going into their Into the Fire pay-per-view, which is officially done more buys than NWA 70s pay-per-view, with still a week to go. The fucking show is this coming Saturday. We're going to talk a little bit about that, how the NWA is still providing one of the better products, over everything else. Like, look, there's a lot of talk about the Wednesday Night Wars, AEW versus NXT, WWE, NXT, whatever. And how that's probably the best night of wrestling. And I'll agree with that, because of the two products that are on it. And while NWA Power...
Two are better than one.
NWA Power is just like 40, 50 minutes, real quick. You got Impact on Axis then, that is going from 8 to 10 on Tuesday nights.
And AEW Dark.
And AEW Dark is a fucking different thing. It's they're trying to include it there, I guess. But I'll be very honest, no one really watches AEW Dark.
I do.
Right? So
I'm nobody.
You watch anything dark.
True. True.
You always fighting for the dark. Just let it be known. There it is.
Assalamu alaikum.
But if you're looking for the overall term, the overall in fun, in wrestling product that's going down, for the most part, that is your Wednesday night. And it edges out Tuesday, basically because of the time that they have, Sure, you got 2 hours of Impact, and you have the 50 minutes of NWA, but you got 4 hours in AEW and NXT, and they're really fucking going at it, and it's tough to choose if you're watching them both at the same time. They pull you each in their own way, so it's usually much. No, even if that, because then you're still only paying attention to one. Yeah. It's they like this more, so I'm looking down here or looking up there. The best way to watch it, obviously, is back to back, and that's some people have to do that. Especially us, when we have to talk about it, we can't just, float through things. But NWA is putting out a product that is a slow burn. It's great because it is not something that they are just shoving down your throats. It is something that NWA is giving you in small doses, so it's not too much. But at the same time, you want more.
Definitely
it's a light snack.
More. Yep.
I can't even say it's a light snack because, goddamn it,
it's a fat appetizer.
I think it's like a small plate at a restaurant, right? Like, and I'm not talking the appetizer small plate. I'm talking if you go to one of those restaurants, these hoity-toity fine dining restaurant, and you get this amazing fucking plate of food, but it's like 4 ounces, and you're like, oh man, I can totally have another entree of this, because it is that good.
$40 a plate.
It is that good, and it's something to where they're also being very smart with it on the pay-per-view side of it. Into the Fire is $20. It may have just gone up to $25, but $19.99 for an NWA pay-per-view is what I paid. I paid for it.
Yeah, if you pre-order, it's $20. If you order it the day of, I think it's $25.
I don't know if it's the day of or if it was like you had till the first.
Yeah,
week
you had to like the 9th, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that might be today.
Yeah.
That after this podcast, fucking gonna cost you $24.99 to watch an NWA pay-per-view, but that's still not $50-$60 that AEW's asking you for.
That's an pay-per-view, honestly.
Like, it is something like, and this is on Fight TV, so it's something that everyone can get. But at the same time, Fight TV is doing it for AEW overseas. You got the Bleacher Report Live, and again, $49.99 if I'm not mistaken, for an AEW show. So they're giving you, we got six matches for Into the Fire, including you're going to see the Rock and Roll Express defend their 9th tag team title championship reign. But it's something along the lines of, it's just smart business. They're not forcing it down your throat, but at the same time, they're giving you enough of a product that you want to see more, to where $20 doesn't seem like a lot for the show. And not only does it not seem like a lot in this streaming age, because everyone's like, oh, $9.99 a month, I can get just about everything. Even WWN Live is only $9.99 a month. You got Impact Plus is
$9.99.
Yeah, so all of these
I just
wrestling
subscribed
streaming,
for it. I still gotta watch No Surrender.
all of these streaming services are going at you $9.99, and then you see this fucking smack in the face $49.99 just to watch a AEW pay-per-view 4 times a year. Now, okay, let's say we're doing that. That's $200, right? That's not the $10 a month that you're spending on one of the major networks or even the minor networks, which equates to $120 a year. That is $80 fucking more for 4 shows, not a network of things.
Yep.
4 shows that, let's be very honest, were whelming. Not underwhelming, not overwhelmed. Whelming. They were. There were parts of those things that you're like, man, that was a great match, and then other parts you're like, why the fuck is what is this going on? We've had our differences with AEW and our praises for AEW, but it's not like you were sitting there going, I got all of my money's worth for this pay-per-view. And that at the same time, we're not the fanboys of AEW. We love them. We're not shit-talking them. You know, we'll nitpick the things that we nitpick, but it's not like AEW can do no wrong in our eyes. Like, apparently it fucking happens now, you know, and we'll get into some of that. But NWA is giving you a product that makes you want more and gives you more at a decent price. It's like, so let's go back to that thing. You had that main plate, and it's that 4 ounces. You're like, fuck, man, I want more. And they're like, you know, to add on another plate, all you got to do is pay half the price for a second one. And you're like, huh? What? In. And that's what people are doing. I got it. Nick, you said you're going to get it today at the $20 price. It's a smart buy.
They also NWA podcast, wrestling podcast has a contest going on, and pretty much I entered that one. We can get it for free.
Yeah.
And let's say, tell us what do you think the best match on the card it will be and why. And I did, so I actually entered that contest, got a reply back, and I'm one of the last 3 people.
Really?
Really?
And you can fucking win it.
I have a possibility of winning.
Hell yeah,
shit.
man. 1 in
Awesome.
3. That's 33%, dog. That's way better than 1 in 4.
I can't even sit next to you right now.
Right. Like, your future is bright to me. We understand why you're wearing shades.
I got lucky.
Finally.
Smitty just doesn't want to sit there and go, hey, thanks, man. You go, I got lucky. First off, Smitty, you never get lucky. You just, no dude wants you anymore. You're so up.
Think about switching to women.
You thinking about it? you should start with trans. Like
A slow
right, a
process.
slow burn.
Yep.
And then maybe
Hell no, I'm not trying to burn it all, you asshole.
then you'll get the next course at half off. Leave this little goose. Devin goes, aren't you guys going to the pay-per-view or tapings this weekend? And we were. Smitty and I were going to go, but unfortunately, extenuating circumstances with my daughter and her schoolwork meant I have to stay here. So unfortunately, we will not be attending the pay-per-view or the tapings, but we wish huge wellness and hopefully everything goes well to our good friend Maureen for NWA, obviously Dave Lagana and Billy Corgan as well. Those are your 3, man. Lagana and Billy Corgan obviously get a lot of the spotlight because they're the outside faces, but the director of operations, Maureen, is a friend of ours, and man, she busts her ass for that company too. And I think that's your power trio right there. Man. You know what I'm saying?
She's also getting praise on social media.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, of course, because those are the inside people that know. So when the wrestlers are saying it and stuff, it throws into her name. But I also want to say it for them. The bottom line is those are gears that are working, and without either 3 of those, it doesn't turn. Each connects to the next thing that makes it work. Most things work like that. You pull out one of those gears, Lagana goes, Corgan goes, or Maureen goes. That thing's gonna fucking work wonky, and I think they are putting on some of the one of the best products right now, period. So yes, we're talking about NWA Into the Fire. Question Mark versus Trevor Murdoch in a singles match. Everyone's really high on Question Mark right now.
Dude, he is hot.
Yeah, super hot karate.
But there's also speculation that who he is, like that guy that James Storms beat up on that first week.
That's Joseph, huh? That's totally who it is.
Yeah, Joseph.
And that's not even a spoiler. It was really funny when they were showing all of the lead up for the title match, and I was like, you just right after showing a question mark thing, you showed the guy who's playing the question mark, and it's real fucking obvious. It's like putting a picture of Superman and Clark Kent next to each other and going, I mean, the hair and the glasses.
He's hiding in plain sight.
Right. So yes, question mark versus Trevor Murdoch is announced as a singles match. Obviously, Trevor Murdoch, the guy who's crazy enough to strap a bucket. Never mind. Up next is
like the Randy Marsh.
Up next is a women's tag team match with Allison Kay, Michigan native, to her, and Ashley Vox are taking on the team of either Melina and Thunder Rosa, Melina and Marty Bell, or Thunder Rosa and Marty Bell. It's yet to be decided which of those three will be in. So yes, Allison Kay and Ashley Vox versus Melina, Thunder Rosa, or Marty Bell. Then there's a singles match, Eli Drake versus Ken Anderson.
Eli Drake.
Yeah, I could have done that, but Anderson's got the cooler entrance name. And then there is a best 2 out of 3 falls match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, where each guy got to pick their referee. They set this precedent with Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis. Brian Hebner is James Storm's pick, and Tim Storm is Nick Aldis' pick for the referee. If this match goes to a third fall, a coin flip will happen, and heads or tails, that referee will take on the third fall of the match. Then there is a triple threat for a match for the NWA National Championship. Colt Cabana defending his title against Aaron Stevens and Ricky Starks. Great fucking wrestlers.
Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks is one of the most exciting guys on NWA.
Yeah, it's really good to watch him. And then, of
big
course,
personality as well.
The tag team championship match of the Rock and Roll Express defending their titles. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson are taking on the Wild Cards, Thomas Latimer and Royce Isaacs.
And a rematch.
Devin wants to call in. Yeah, man, you know the number to the fucking studio. Call in.
Bring some more color to this show right now.
Shit's about to get serious.
For
Real
sure.
serious.
100%, Devin. Yeah, man, we got about 10 minutes for you because we got the Smack Talk Showdown guys calling in to talk to them about their Lewd Attitude product as well. So, Devin, feel free to call in for 10 minutes. It should. No, it's not open. Ooh. I'm really glad he said that because I would not have noticed that.
And,
it was open. My bad.
Hey-o.
So yes, the NWA product, again, like we said, this is a 6-match card, but it is a stacked card.
And they probably give them a lot more time than they usually get.
And on top of that, they've already said that this is going to be something done different. Lagana had gone on Twitter and stated, like, hey, on NWA Power, these people just come out. Are they going to have entrance music on the pay-per-view? And Lagana was like, yes, the pay-per-views will have a completely different feel than all of the NWA Power episodes, as they should.
It's studio recorded, and these pay-per-views are probably going to be live. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have do a kind of live production type deal, like everything else, kind of.
Yeah,
almost.
it's incoming call from Devin. What's up, Devin?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Man, you
What's
are
going
loud.
on?
Are we on speakerphone? Hey, everybody listening on Devin's phone.
What's up, brother of another color? What's up, my brother of the same color?
Man, is that Smith?
You know that's
Yes, it
Smitty.
is.
Why? No one else on this show would say brother of the same color.
What's up, brother of a different color?
Yeah, goddamn it, fucking A.
I think Mike would slip that one in, man.
I am not tan enough to slip that one in.
Mike always says he's black from the waist down, so he might try to get away with that one.
And then it stops at the belt line, actually. I'm like 1/17 black, and that's right around my belt line. That's it.
It's not what you think.
Yeah, it's way less than what you think. Way less. Way less. So, Devin, obviously we're talking about NWA. Now, we know through all the controversies that WWE have had, you've backed off from watching the product because you don't want to support it. And, understandably so. Have you been watching the NWA product?
Oh, man, see, that's part of the reason why I was able to back away from WWE, because outside of WWE, there's so much great wrestling going on right now. NWA is definitely one of them. I watch NWA every week. I love it, man. That throwback feel to the old school days. It's a different feel. I love it. I'm definitely looking forward to the show this weekend.
Have you already purchased the show?
So here's the thing. I'm actually going to be in Detroit this weekend. I'm coming up there for the Shine and Big Battle Kaiju show.
Oh, I was about to say, Evolve already happened. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I have something planned that Saturday, so I'll probably end up catching it Sunday somehow. But if I wasn't going to be busy that Saturday, I would definitely order it. I am going to watch it though.
I'll be honest, I'm going to be busy Saturday. I work every Saturday, but they do give you the replay. I'll be watching that NWA probably before I come in the show to have a conversation about it next week. Oh no, next week there's a Lions game at home. I won't be here. I'll miss you guys.
Some fucking bullshit.
I love you. What is really standing out to you, Devin, about the NWA right now?
I'm not even sure if it's really the nostalgia or just the fact that it's good storylines that's built out over a long period of time. It might be a combination of both. I'm not sure what it is. I just know every Tuesday I'm watching it, no matter what.
Are you trying to watch it live, or are you just watching it when you can catch it?
Well, since my work schedule is kind of wonky, I try to catch that before I go to work, and then I'll probably watch AEW Dark once I'm at work. But I try to catch it, not too long after it's up.
Is there anything else outside of the WWE that is truly standing out to you? Like, how are you feeling about AEW as a show?
I'm at a point right now where I'm kind of waiting until like the beginning of the year to really, really make a hard judgment on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but to say, okay, this is definitely one of the best companies out there, or to make a real hard judgment on them, I'm giving them until the beginning of the year to do so. But I see good things. They still got some production things they got to work out.
Mm-hmm.
They got some continuity things to figure out, like with their ranking system. But I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far.
All right, and Impact. Are you paying a lot of attention to Impact?
I have been paying attention to Impact. Yep. Actually, I think their pay-per-view Hard to Kill is going to be here in Dallas. I'm probably going to try and make it to that show.
Nice.
I'm definitely enjoying what they've been doing, the changes that they've made over the few years, and the deal with Access is putting them on a channel that we can actually find. So I'm definitely looking forward to more from Impact.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think, who do you believe right now is the hottest star in wrestling outside of WWE with everything that you've been watching?
Well, I've been saying for a while, I think Cody is the hottest baby face in the business right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Jericho's probably the hottest heel. But somebody that I'm really keeping my eye on right now is Tessa Blanchard. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this story. Whether she's going to stay, if she's going to go somewhere else. Same with Marty Scurll. I want to see what he's going to do. But I would say Cody and Jericho are probably the two hottest outside of WWE right now.
Jericho and Cody. Nice, man. Smitty, what do you're cocking your head at that one?
I said I agree with the Cody thing. I mean, the Cody thing is the hottest face, but I think Sami Callihan's probably the hottest heel in professional wrestling right now. Just because the work he's done over the last 2 years in general alone speaks for itself. He's had one of the PWI matches of the year with Tessa Blanchard, and he's also had his heel work with Impact. The fact he's able to get heat no matter how good he is in the ring is just a testament to how good of a heel he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's taking shots at everybody. Like when he won the Impact World Championship, he took a shot at Jericho. It was a little bit of bub. He said, we're out here drinking beer because champagne's for bitches.
Bubbly's for bitches. Yeah. He said bubbly is for bitches.
Yeah, paraphrasing, but he's taking shots at just about any and everybody is outside of like subtle shots, but nothing like not name dropping or anything like that.
Kyle comments in, "Who's this bum on the line?" We kind of stole your co-host, dog.
Dang.
Sorry, Kyle. Remember.
Don't worry about it. He gets a little jealous.
That's fine. I get it. He should be jealous because you gone, dog.
Speaking of being jealous,
he went from knockouts and 3 counts to ring breaking down. That's just how it goes, dog.
Boom.
Sometimes the allure of the ring makes everybody want to break it down. That's a euphemism for Smitty's asshole.
Break the butthole down.
Break the Smith down. So, Devin, is there anything that you have been watching that obviously not a lot of people are talking about, but you think should have a lot more play in the mainstream conversation of professional wrestling?
Well, like I was saying, I'm here in Dallas now. MLW is actually going to have a show here the day before Impact's pay-per-view, and I've already bought my ticket for that show. I'm trying to check out more of MLW. I've watched it here and there, but it's kind of hard to find them at times. Now that I've actually found them on, I think it's BN Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Been watching a little bit more. I'm definitely checking them out. And Ring of Honor too, man. I'm interested in seeing what's going on with Ring of Honor. They've kind of become like the lost stepchild in this whole reshuffling of wrestling companies, and I want to see what they're going to do to respond to AEW and Impact and all these other companies, stepping up.
All right. Yeah, MLW just released Teddy Hart. So they just, jumped into a little bit of the conversation, with the release of a guy, which is weird. Usually it's the signing of guys that make a lot of people talk, but the release of Teddy Hart, Teddy fucking Hart. The release of him definitely brought a little bit more eyes to MLW, and I'll agree. MLW caught my eyes when Larry Dallas went there for a little bit for their podcast, and I was like, oh, and so you can find that on television. And I agree, Ring of Honor, I mean, it's really difficult to find Ring of Honor, but you can. FS1 at midnight on Fridays, or technically Saturday morning at 12 a.m., I guess you can get to.
Listen, teeters on how you feel about it.
In between Friday and Saturday, there's that midnight hour, and that's where you can catch Ring of Honor.
Oh, midnight hour.
Devin, man, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate talking to you, brother. Definitely maybe calling on another day, or even later in the show, because we got the Smack Talk Showdown, guys, a game that we fucking love. Those guys are about to call in and have a conversation about their lewd attitude pack. But Devin, thank you so much for calling in, brother, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
All right, man, and don't take this ass whooping personally, man.
I can't take anything personally when it doesn't happen.
Everybody's gotta have dreams, man. You dream on, brother.
Hey, man, the Dr. King had a dream, and look at what he's doing right now. See you later, brother.
All right, peace, man.
Don't get corneted.
Whoa, I praised it. There was no bad stereotype there.
The views and opinions expressed by Breaking Down the Ring
are totally Mikey's. Even Smitty doesn't claim these views.
Hey, look, I'm the reason we had a waiver in the first place.
You are 100% the waiver initiator. So, yes, like Devin was saying, man, MLW, Major League Wrestling, you got Ring of Honor, obviously, and other little companies. And I mean, look, man, New Japan kind of fell away from the conversation, even though they're still doing big things. Jericho's still involved in them. He's still doing things, even though he's an AEW's main guy. He's still doing things with New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan dropping a statement. I think their vice president even saying that, look, we're not saying we're not willing to work with anybody, but things have to align, and we have to, pay attention to our current partnerships and things like that, and see what works best for everyone.
CMLL right now, I think CMLL's and Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
so CMLL and Ring of Honor are who New Japan are working with right now.
And Ring of Honor 100% is still pissy at AEW, as is most of the wrestling world. Look, man, you kind of fuck some things up by starting up. Look, you can be the fucking baby face in the fans' eyes, but there's a lot of backstage heat on AEW in the wrestling world, and it's not just because of the product they're putting on. You fucked a lot of people over with this, and that's fine to an extent, but we all said it, at the beginning, like starting a brand new company, you pillaged a lot of talent. It's not just like
a big budget company.
Yeah,
like
it's not like not signing with them. Like if those fucking 5 guys, Cody, Kenny, Hangman, and the Bucks would have signed with WWE, That's all that would have happened.
Yep.
Those 5 guys would have went to WWE, and all these other people that are being promoted and everything would have stayed in these indie things. But by starting a new company and bringing in all of these people, even currently when you're bringing in more and more people, which is not bad because you're putting diversity, you're diversifying your bonds.
But Wu-Tang Financial, diversify your bonds, nigga.
But you're now all these other companies are starting to lose people they have not
losing star power,
and it's really funny because like there's another UK promotion just closed, and a lot of people are giving heat to NXT UK for this because they signed people to exclusive contracts in the UK.
Like I know Progress is one place they farm Progress.
What are you talking about?
NXT UK farm Progress.
So another one of these UK promotions closed, and a lot of people are giving it to NXT, the NXT WWE style brand. But let's not forget the AEW is pulling people in too, man. They're not doing so bad as to pulling people. I don't think they're signing exclusive. I mean, obviously you have to be available for these dates, period. But they're pulling people as well. Let's not pretend that this is all WWE, NXT or anything. This is it's going around. It's going around, and so therefore everything's being pillaged right now by the startup of a new company, a new major company that was doing 10,000 seats for their first couple shows at pay-per-views and tried to do it with their weekly show Dynamite, and it's fizzling fast, man. Like it sucks, right? Because you want to see this. You want to see that AEW is still holding true, but AEW is eventually going to have to go, yeah, let's go to a couple 5,000 seat arenas. Let's go, because currently you're having a larger blackout area than the NFL gives you for a non-sold out game. Can't catch TV. Won't show it. If you're in that current market, like the Lions.
Oh, I didn't know they did that.
I would say like a Lions game.
Yeah.
I didn't know that AEW did that.
No. Like the blackout. Like putting on tarps.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, really?
Like there's nobody fucking there, so we're going to throw all...
This was probably the worst one this week.
So like you guys are like trying to sell out 10,000 seats, and you're selling out 6,000, maybe selling 6,000, 5,500.
And here's what blows my mind, right? You have some people that are the AEW diehards on Twitter going, we failed. And you're like, what do you mean you failed? That we didn't rally the troops enough for? It's like, you can't... I appreciate that kind of loyalty, right? But why?
It's been 2 months.
Why do you have this loyalty to something that... Is it for the fans? Sure. But it has to have a much broader scope of things for it to truly pull in the audience. We were talking about...
In a sense, what I mean by they feel like just because the seats aren't there?
Or the ratings. When the ratings came out before, because they obviously didn't come out the next day because it was Thanksgiving Day for 2 Wednesdays ago. But AEW lost to NXT again for the pre and the post Survivor Series show.
Which they should.
And this week, AEW beat them by 6,000 fans.
Yeah, so my number was right.
Yeah. Congratulations. You know math this week. AEW pulling in 851,000 viewers and NXT pulling in 845,000 viewers. Obviously, it's much closer right now, and it's probably going to flip-flop depending on what you're getting. Next week is being the triple threat for the number one contendership for the NXT Championship. You might see NXT numbers go up.
Oh, yeah,
because of how hot Ciampa, Lee, and Balor are, right? And that's your fucking top draw next week. It is the
week after. Because they're going to have the
women's
and the men's.
Yeah, is it the men and the men's?
Yep.
That match is going to happen that same night?
Yep.
Wow, and Jericho's just facing on Jungle Boy, Mr. 0-8.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that in a second. So, yes, there's a lot of conversations going on. Smitty, you and Joe were always the guys who paid more attention to the independent scene. Have you started paying less attention to the independent scene now that there's so much mainstream wrestling to watch?
I pulled myself a little bit more away from New Japan and Ring of Honor. I still kind of come in and out of Ring of Honor, but
that's what we've heard.
The lack is like the whole farming of like some of these places are like, especially like Ring of Honor. Me and Joe have already had this conversation about how Ring of Honor probably got the worst of getting farmed out of since with the AEW thing and NXT and all this good stuff. AEW, Ring of Honor is lacking star power right now. So they're lacking star power, and and part of it, like, there are guys I like in Ring of Honor that keep me invested into it. So Villa Enterprise is like, when Marty Scurll getting ready to, his contract being up, and he's probably about to go. That's one guy I follow, and is going to pull me away a little bit more away from it. But Ring of Honor has a good habit of building stars too. Like Jonathan Gresham, I want to see more of him. Shane Taylor, even though he's probably on his way out as well. You got guys like Jay Lee, you got the Briscoes. It's not that they don't have quality wrestlers over there. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that Ring of Honor has a habit of they need to promote themselves better. They need to promote themselves and their talent better.
Yeah.
New Japan, like, I'm still following pretty much just the Bullet Club over there right now. Like, Jay White is your Intercontinental Champion. Lance Hoyt is your United States champion over there. Then you, like, I give no shits about the main event right now. Like, I don't care about Okada anymore. I find like Okada is only as good as the opponent you give him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at Wrestle Kingdom, he's fighting Kota Ibushi, who won the G1, and they're not doing anything. Everything I've watched, nothing there like interests me about that match right now. Tetsuya Naito's feuding over the IC Championship with Jay White, and that's probably the most interesting thing they have on New Japan right now, from what I've seen thus far. And I'm invested, but not as much as I am in stuff like Impact and AEW. And there's also so much to watch as well that part of it's getting lost in the shuffle. Because I tried to get back into AAA, but too many clowns.
Too many clowns?
There's like 6 fucking clown-based characters a week in AAA, and I'm like, yep, no, this is too much for me.
Wow.
Nick, obviously, you've gotten out of the WWE realm only every now and then of watching by becoming a regular part of the show. Is there anything that has caught your eye outside of what is mainstream, like, the Impact, the NWA, the WWE, the AEWs? Or is it that you're just really concentrating on this right now just because this is what you have to pay attention to for the show?
No. I mean, yeah, I got to watch this stuff for the show, but it's easily accessible. Between WWE, AEW, NWA. I want to watch Impact. I just have a hard time watching everything that I currently watch. And I would still watch everything that I do for the show. I'd watch it even if I wasn't on the show. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to fit all that in, so I want to watch it. Yeah, I mean, she did. What are you going to do? Yeah, it's
he makes
hard
up for size in his hand.
It's hard to get it all, and I want to, you guys talk about Ring of Honor and shows like New Japan, which they're portrayed as some of the better in-ring action, especially New Japan. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I'm seeking out, only because it's not as easily accessible. Could I find it? Sure. But it's not something I can just flick on and go.
This is something that obviously we haven't gotten into much because of the fact that we usually have so much to talk about with wrestling. And now, while there is a lot of stuff to talk about with the things that happened this week in wrestling, we do kind of want to get into this finally. With not much being built for stuff, it's just kind of recap shows which we can weave in and out of. But with the amount of wrestling that you have right now, it is a buffet. You're walking up and you get to pick and choose what you want, when you want it, Sure, you can watch things live, but like we said, NWA Power is live for that hour at 6:05, But if you don't catch it then,
It's
you
on
fucking watch
YouTube.
it whenever. Yeah, it's a YouTube show. If you do a DVR for any of the other ones, you can watch it later. You don't have to, which that's what I do. I can't watch all of these
And
live.
the WWE products, you watch the day after on Hulu.
Yeah, it's something that's it's very accessible to many fans, and that is the purpose for this. Is you want wrestling, you want all of this, no matter what it is, to not feel like a chore. And sure, some of it does. Watching some Raws have been feeling like a chore.
SmackDown too.
Mostly Raw for me.
Mostly Raw for everybody, which is really bad to say for that flagship show. And it might be because it's the only one that's 3 hours. And they got to put so much into it, and we can constantly talk about the timeline, but at the same time, man, when Raw was really good, there was 3 hour Raws back in, the early 2000s, and you were watching every bit of that going, this is fucking great. So it's not like they haven't done an amazing run of 3 hour shows, not like one or two. Like, no, they had years where you weren't talking about it, on how much it is. When they first said, we're going to go to 3 hours, you're like, oh shit, that's a lot. And then they provided. And you're like, all right, that's not too bad.
I was gonna say they have it in them to make it great, but it seems like they just for some reason they're lacking on. They're just not pulling through at this point.
Yeah, there's a disconnect right there, and no one can fully tell what it is because there's a lot of people that want to throw it on Vince McMahon, and it's like, but Vince McMahon has provided some of the best, and still has his head like okay. The SmackDown that was written after that last Saudi show. Everyone was like, oh, Triple H had his hand in it. It's all Triple H. It was the fucking best SmackDown because of Triple H. It came out that Vince wrote that whole show on the plane back when he found out that the superstars weren't going to make it. Vince wrote that show.
And Triple H executed it.
And no, not just executed it. Vince was there.
Oh, he was? Wow.
Yeah, Vince was the first one.
Oh, he was out. Yeah.
Vince was there. Vince was there, wrote the fucking show, obviously put things together with Triple H and stuff, but we've always said WWE puts on some of the best products when their back is to the fucking wall.
Yeah.
So while you could say Vince is out of touch, Vince has lost it, Vince put on the best SmackDown you ever watched this year. In the last 10 years, that a lot of people are talking about. Vince did that with his back to the wall on a plane ride home.
On a fucking napkin, probably.
I highly doubt that.
I'm just
It ain't the Emancipation Proclamation.
So you have to you kind of have to still say Vince has it, but Vince has it when he doesn't have too much thought. When Vince can just go, it's probably gonna be fucking beautiful. But when and there's a bow and this and that's
In other words, improv Vince is the best.
Yeah.
Improv Vince is fucking amazing. So we hope Raw gets better, but while we've mentioned some of the stuff that is on the outskirts of it, let's talk about these main shows as a whole. Nick, as you're watching them, what's standing out most to you every week, be it a wrestler, a promo, or something that you just like to see, one of these things that are doing very well each week?
NXT's in-ring work, even though I wasn't thrilled this week with the show as a whole, it's very clean. It's hard hitting. I find myself very much paying attention to the whole entire match most of the time. The promos are really good. They don't run too long. There's not too many of them. It's not getting crammed down my throat. I like the showcase of their talent as far as, like you got guys like Keith Lee right now, who's one of the hottest dudes in WWE right now. And I just think the in-ring work first and foremost, but not overloading us with promos that run too long.
Smitty.
I was going to agree with Nick about the showcase of talent, and the way that they showcase their talent is like outside maybe of the Undisputed Era, who you pretty much see every week. You're not getting no one particular person is getting crammed down your throat, really.
But is that what stands out to you the most of things that are what
in the WWE system?
No, of any of the mainstream product that we're watching. What's standing out
to me the most? More so the way Impact kind of does the way Impact kind of runs their thing. Like they let there's one of the few places where I see they are showing true equality within the ring. Like you got women like Tessa Blanchard who's actually vying for a world championship, but then you've also seen women like Jordan Grace go against men. You've seen it's and like that, and then you got the diversity. And once again, they're also just like NXT where it's not every week you see certain people. Like you and I talked about how Rich Swann like put on that amazing match 2 weeks ago.
40 minutes in the ring.
40 minutes in the ring, and you didn't see it. Well, you saw it like didn't have the throwback show, and like this week you just had a segment with Willie Mack, and just leading up to something that may be happening at Hard to Kill. They're gonna do a whole tag team open thing this Tuesday about that, to find out who's vying for the tag team championship at Hard to Kill. But like he just like pretty much was just everybody saying good match, and he really had no big part in the show, just a little them showing like thanks for putting on a good match type deal.
See, Tessa Blanchard's gonna fight Nick Gage in a no holds barred match in January.
In GCW?
Yep.
GCW. ICW New York.
ICW.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was GCW. But whatever.
There is a GCW, but they're wrestling at the ICW. Okay. I was asking. I did not, but again,
no holds barred.
Yeah, but
no D holds barred Q match.
And also the way that the Impact uses they use their legends or veterans in the company. They actually use them. Sometimes the legends go over or veterans go over. Sometimes, most of the time, they use these veterans to actually get the younger or newer or no name talent over. I'm also a big fan of the X Division.
You're going on way too much. I said one thing, and they're
utilizing the talent.
Okay, so for me, the one thing that is standing out the most of any of these mainstream is something that Devin mentioned earlier, and it's Jericho. Because Jericho, as your face of AEW, is spectacular. What he's doing to bring up the people in the inner circle, to get people more involved, more recognition, more name value, and on top of the things that he's doing with talent that he's facing. You know, when he's Scorpio
Sky.
Yes, can get it out. Thank you, Smitty. Scorpio Sky. You got Jungle Boy coming up in a couple weeks. The line where Luchasaurus is like, Marco Stunt's small for his age, and then Jericho's like, he's small for any age. There's comments like there's moments that Jericho is. You can tell that he's just having the time of his fucking life wrestling right now. Yeah. Right? He's in a company where he's got a lot of creative freedom, but he's not just given a lot of creative freedom. It's a lot of creative freedom that he's able to put in a main part of a show. It's not like something where they're like, okay, go ahead and try this. When he had to fight with Triple H for the Festival of Friendship, he goes, nope, I talked to Vince last week. This is how he said it could be done. And Triple H is like, no. And he's like, I'm going to call Vince. And he said he called Vince, and Vince's like, yeah, let him do it, pal. It's going to be good shit. It was a great fucking segment. And that was Jericho's creative control on full display
and also
in WWE. But the bottom line is he still had to fight day of on the show, hours before it was supposed to go down, to get what he wanted. I highly doubt he's doing that right now. He is saying, hey, let's do this. And they're like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Fucking do it. But only problem with it is there's creating a lot of inconsistencies again. Jungle Boy is an 0-8 overall wrestler, and he's getting a title shot.
No, not a title shot.
Yeah, it's non-title.
Oh, I thought it was a title shot.
Non-title. He said he got to pick his opponent for his last match of 2019.
Oh, I thought that. See, that's my fault then, because I thought that he was stating that he had to defend the title one more time in 2018 per contract.
2019,
yeah.
He was obligated to one more match.
Ah, okay. All right. So I retract that statement. But again, so now he's going to be facing Jungle Boy. So it's, again, right back to what I was saying. He's putting over other talent.
That's one thing that I completely agree with you on, and it's frustrating because there's a lot of people that are on these, the internet wrestling community that when you saw...
That's IWC.
The IWC. When you saw the Inner Circle Forum and Jericho made comments like, I've got these guys back and, we're close and this, that, and the other, and people were bashing him like, you've known them for like 5 minutes. And, okay, I get when you're looking at it on the surface, but Jericho's at a point in his career where not only is he over, one of his main focuses to help other younger talent get the fuck over, and he's doing that.
Sammy Guevara's what, 23?
And I think a lot of people are forgetting that these people that are just there to, no matter what AEW does, they just got to fucking bash it just because they can. But they're forgetting the purpose, the rhyme behind the reason of a lot of this shit. You know, and he's doing a great job not only keeping himself over as the heel of that company and the face, but he's helping these dudes. Yeah, Jungle Boy's 0-8, but he's going to help that dude look good.
Right.
You know?
And he's going to put him in a formidable type of look.
Yep.
You know, like you're probably gonna get a real good match,
like you did with Darby Allin.
Yes, Darby Allin, or again Scorpio Sky. You know, a lot of people talk about how great Scorpio Sky is, when he wrestles in the tag team in SCU. You don't get a lot of look at the singles part of Scorpio Sky. You did, you know. It's Jericho right now is probably the greatest thing in wrestling because of what he's doing for it as a whole. Showing that these promos can be cut, you know, unscripted. If you're good enough, do it. Jericho, it was really funny. One of the greatest things I feel that Jericho has ever said was that when he was in WWE and they were talking about guys, trying to get guys over, he's like, send guys out there for the 3 minutes in between main event and Raw to cut a promo. Unscripted. Just see what they do to get over. See if you can find a guy who has that type of charisma, and if you find that guy, push that guy, because that guy's your entertainment guy. If they fall flat on their face, okay, that's fine, and then you pull them back. No one's, you know, it's a fucking, sure, people are going to see it because of social media, but it's either going to help someone get over or hurt them, you know. And if that hurts them, then they have to come back and they have to fight for it, and that's their 3 minutes. You go give people 3 minutes to see what they can do. People got all the fucking 3 minutes in the world right now in AEW, yes. You know, and that I guarantee that's part Jericho. You know, sure, Cody and the Bucks and Kenny, the EVPs and Tony Khan are all putting it over, you know, and putting things into perspective and the backstage thing, but you know they're talking to Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is a huge grizzled veteran in wrestling, and he is putting on some of the best things right now, and you can't knock him for it at all. And I agree with you, Nick. You know, you brought it up. There are the people that are fucking anti-AEW, and I don't get it.
Right.
Even I, with all of my nitpicking and, you know, going into here like, oh, the referee here, or there's way too many, you know, counts, stuff, blah, blah. I will always sit back and praise what needs to be praised.
You would nitpick other companies if they did
I
the same
nitpick
shit.
every fucking company. You know, I mean, hell, man. We talk about how much we love NWA. My God, did we fucking hate when that Cornette stuff was going on. Mm-hmm. You know, it happens. But the way they handled it was wonderful. Okay, he's gone. You know, Cornette made his fucking comments on his podcast and stuff, and it was like, all right, he left. They showed him love, and people are giving them shit for saying thank you. And it's like, you can't give anyone shit for being upstanding.
Appreciative.
Yeah, upstanding. Right. Like, if fucking, like, okay, we've had Callie on this show. We've had Orlando Christopher on this show. We said thank you to all of the things that they have done for us. You know, each one of them brought a different perspective. Orlando with the with the actual wrestler perspective. Callie with the women's perspective. You know, thank you so much. Do we give them shit in fun ways that we gave them shit face to face on the show? Look at their chest. You know, but
oh man, you wish you were around for that one.
But the bottom line is you appreciate what people have done for you and your show, regardless of how they left. Cornette fucked up. But Cornette fucked up with a line he's been saying for years that started when the whole Starvin' Marvin fucking shit with South Park was going on, right? It just didn't age well. There are things that don't age well, and when you run back to the well too much, that's what happens, you know? But but Jericho is spec-fucking-tacular. Mm-hmm. I can't say enough great things about Chris Jericho as a wrestler, as a performer, as Smitty.
Sorry, I was kind of hiccuping at the same time.
Did you hiccup while you were drinking?
Yeah.
And you just dribbled? Smitty doesn't swallow. He's a spitter. Smitty quits.
And now you know.
All right. Smitty, we'll start with you with this one. Of all of the wrestling that we have to watch, of all of this stuff, what is the one thing that you wish was being done better?
SmackDown in general. It's like I really have no interest in watching SmackDown most weeks.
Really?
I really like. I've always like when they did the whole draft thing. I feel like SmackDown got boned in that draft, and ever since the draft, like I feel like watching SmackDown is just about as much of a chore as watching Raw because there's nothing that's interesting me over there right now. Not the King Corbin Roman storyline. It's just getting more ridiculous every week. Just like the whole Lana Rusev and adding Kevin Owens to it now. Like it's nothing about SmackDown is popping to me and making me want to. Oh, I need to watch SmackDown to see what's going on here.
Nick.
Well,
wow.
I will say that there's nothing about Raw or SmackDown that makes me say I gotta fucking watch this tonight. I'm gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that Raw for me is the one, the thing that needs the improvement. I think 3 hours is too long, because there's a lot of shit that's just filler that doesn't really need to be there, and it's like a roller coaster. Like I don't want to watch it, but then I start watching. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm watching Raw, and then it just kind of goes down, and then there's something that kind of goes up, and then there's a down, and then there's more down, and then there's more down, and then there's an up. I mean, it's too much of a roller coaster. It's not consistent enough, and 3 hours is just way too fucking much.
Do you think with the signing of John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, whatever the fuck he's gonna go as, back, is this something that is possibly helpful to that? Because I mean, back in the day, he was one of the more exciting people to watch. Do you think that could help Raw or SmackDown, whatever show he goes to, and make it more interesting to you, Nick?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. He was a good in-ring worker. I didn't really care for his character, but dude can wrestle, and that's just as important for me. I mean, you can be an awesome character and suck in the ring, and then what good are you?
Right.
Enzo.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll help either show for sure.
For me, the thing that is lacking the most, and it seems to be a theme for all of us, is the WWE programming's engaging, keep watching this type thing. I will say the best thing they have going for them right now is this real slow burn of Seth Rollins into a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is great. And they're going to slow burn it down. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? You see what I did there? So it's not like there's all hope is lost. There's obviously things that they have that are doing really well, but agreed, for products overall as a whole. You all right over there?
Yeah, sneeze.
That was a sneeze?
I held it in.
Gesundheit.
Good.
All right.
Chest hurts now.
There's medicine out there if you want to go take something for, your face. No,
I'm taking some for yours already.
You're welcome. I'm taking something for mine too. It's not just vodka in this water bottle. I mean, it's not just water in this vodka bottle. What?
Vodka.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's the worst fucking thing I hear as a bartender. Anyway, so they are trying to. It's like they're only giving a lot of attention to one thing, right? So the other things kind of fall away. Each episode has its one thing. And right now Seth Rollins is Raw in a way that you finally want to give a shit about the Seth Rollins thing. And SmackDown, I guess it's kind of Roman. I mean, they're giving a lot of stuff to The Fiend and Bray Wyatt and things like that, but
they're focusing more on Roman and Corbin.
But even at the same time, it's like nothing's really set apart as what it's being focused on more, because it's not like there's either. Both of them are running themes through SmackDown, right? They go from major parts, Bray Wyatt with the title and everything like that, Roman with Corbin, and you want to see them. You want to see Corbin lose, I guess. It just seems like they're going back too much. They don't know how to spread it into storylines to where you're following a few different things. Like, the best fucking shit on a show is, here's your main storyline for something, but there's also back-end stuff that is featured just as much, so you're enjoying it all, you know? And I just wish that WWE would pull that in a little bit more. And like I said, that's all of us are agreeing and wishing that we had more out of a situation of a product that has
so much
what we fucking raised on, man. And what has, you're right, Smitty, so much talent, such a diverse roster, so much greatness just right there at your hands. You're just going, that's kind of whittling away.
Yeah.
And you're kind of losing interest in everyone. And that's a problem because you're trying not to lose interest. And it's not like they're really pulling in more than what they were. So, you know, we talk about the ratings and stuff like that, but SmackDown was pulling for average before Fox a little over 2, little under 2 million viewers, you know. Now 2.3 of the last 2 of the last 4 weeks, they had 2.3. 2.5 for the episode before Survivor Series, 2.3 the episode after Survivor Series, and it was only a 2.4 this week. You're not doing much better with a bigger audience, which goes to show that your show is lacking in a keep me there environment.
Mm-hmm.
And without that, that's the detriment to any television show, any series, anything. I don't give a shit what your past is. It's going to hurt. Smitty, you talked about all the way Impact is utilizing their talent. With Tessa Blanchard having a shot at the Impact World's Championship, and now did Sami Callihan, he had to face, motherfucker, name just dropped.
Rich Swann?
Yeah, Swann.
I know Surrender yesterday.
That was yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so Callahan retained, I'm assuming?
I haven't got a chance to watch it. I just renewed my Impact Plus yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to watch No Surrender yet.
Well, I see. That's what you're saying. So let's hope.
Well, I'm assuming he's retained because the match for Hard to Kill hasn't been changed yet via social media.
All right. Will be available live on Impact Plus, yeah. So,
and tonight is the Motown Showdown in Belleville for Impact.
Oh yeah, that BCW show.
Yep.
In Belleville.
Dude, yep. I might go.
Is it like Diamondback Saloon? I believe it's still it.
We were there that one.
So I believe one of the matches on the card, they got like 4 fucking huge guys and they like call like a house battle. It's like Brian Cage, AC Romero, Moose, and like these guys are like big guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 4 or 5 of them like in like just all out fight pretty much.
Oh man, that's right. Kyle was talking about going to that. We gave away some of the tickets at our Survivor Series event.
I wanted to go, but I'm scheduled.
Haha, you got to work, nerd. I have it all. Nerd work.
But I went to Evolve, so
shut up. That's the other thing I wanted to get into. The Evolve show. Evolve was here in Detroit.
Evolve 141.
Evolve 141. Thank you. Where you could meet Ciampa, you can meet Walter. Walter was actually in a match on the show. Somebody talk about the Evolve.
Evolve 141 was a really good show. Like it's my second Evolve show I've ever went to. So and it wasn't as good as the first Evolve show I went to, but it was still good. Mm-hmm. Highlight to me was there was a tag team match for the tag team championships. You had Leon Ruff and AR Fox defending against Matt Sydal. I forgot the other guy's name. I just really forgot his name because it was. I also got to hang out with Matt Sydal after the show. Got a picture. And
did he go as Sydal or did he go as Bourne?
He said Matt Sydal.
Okay.
Evan Bourne was just the name he went under in WWE.
How'd that pull up?
And I actually had to have a quick conversation with Matt Sydal when my phone was at like 3%, so I couldn't actually I wanted to record it. Well, he gave me shit about wearing my hoodie and shirt, and he said like, "You're not out there breaking down the ring." Like, you got a hoodie that says "breaking down the ring." I'm like, Yeah, I actually did ask the guys, did they want help breaking down the ring? They're like, nah, man, we're good.
Best ring crew in the business.
So, and he's like, you're not breaking down the ring with him? Like, I actually asked. And he's like, well, at least you tried.
Go ahead and continue with it.
Yeah, but highlight to me was a tag team match. They had some really good tag team matches going on in general because it was my first time seeing Chris Bay live too. And he was phenomenal. Eddie Kingston. There was a 6-man tag with Eddie Kingston and the Unwanted. Also, Kobe Carrano got kicked out of the Unwanted in a segment beforehand. Okay. Yeah, the main event was Walter. I'm drawing names on blanks. I'm blanks on names here.
Didn't he take on? I have it. The Evolve 141 card.
Another match that I actually liked was JD Drake had a match with the champion,
Josh Briggs.
Yeah, Josh Briggs. I was really into that match, but the finish shot, like they kind of botched the finish.
Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah, Timothy Thatcher was Walter. But yeah, Josh Briggs and JD Drake had an amazing match. It's just the botched finish kind of took me completely out of it.
What happened?
I guess Briggs was supposed to be going for his finisher off the top. While Drake was on the top rope, and they just kind of botched the finish, and they just went into a pinfall from there. Like the move was kind of botched, and he just went into a pinfall from there.
Okay.
And he got the 3. And I'm like, okay, you guys just put on like this really good match, but then it's like you like to compare everything. Well, way you compare things to movies. It's like, okay, we had this really good build up, and the crescendo was just
you farted.
Yeah, you just farted on me after we had this. After you gave me all this greatness.
Did you say Chris Bay?
I think it was Chris. No, it wasn't Chris Bay.
Who are you talking about?
Oh fuck! Sorry, no. Forgot. I'm drawing blanks on names.
Blanks.
Yeah, drawing blanks.
So wait, who did you say to come on?
The first match was Besties versus I forgot the guys.
The Skulk?
Yeah, the Skulk. Yeah.
Adrian Alanis and Liam Gray?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Gray, not Gray. I'm going to say Gray, not Bay.
All right. I was like, holy shit, man. Because yeah, even Devin said, I was like, no.
No, I'm going to say Gray, not Bay.
Man, Chris Bay should be signed.
Oh, Chris Bay needs to sign somewhere. I think that's phenomenal. I saw him on Impact. Like he did an enhancement work on Impact with Ace Austin.
Yeah. So talk about something that you did after the show when you were talking to some of the wrestlers.
So I went and got an autograph from Brandy Lauren, who was a past did an appearance. Pretty much called him to the show at one point. Got to speak with her for a second, but there was a bunch of kids behind me, so I didn't want to take up too much of her time. So I got to pay for the autograph, and she noticed the hoodie, and she mentioned that she was on the show at one point, and I pretty much say, yeah, I'm one of the guys that's on the show. And she just gives me a T-shirt, and I don't want to take up too much of your time because you got people over here, and I just kind of let that be.
She gave you a shirt?
Yeah.
Nice.
For giveaways and stuff?
Yeah. Cool. So, so she asked me what size. I said, I just got a large, so we can do it for, the giveaway. And when I talked, like I said, I also talked to Matt, talked to Matt Sydal, got a picture and an autograph with him. So, from him. And,
did you have fun?
It was good. Like I had fun, and I was like myself. I was like, I actually came here as a fan. He's like, but you know what? You're the best kind of fan, a self-promoting fan.
Look at my shirt. Look at my shirt. Look at this.
Like I think the coolest thing is like both people I talked to, they looked at the hoodie and they're like, that's cool, and that was cool, and they brought up something about it.
Yeah.
Like Sydal tried to pretty much rip me about like not breaking down the ring. Brandy Lauren said I was on the show, like I was on that show a while back, and
and you're like, oh yes, I know.
Pretty much,
I was there.
I interviewed you. How are you? Oh my god, no way.
Nice to put a face with a voice.
So that was cool, and also another cool thing, like during the show, I ran into 3 people that saw the hoodie, and they said they listened to our show.
Hell yeah, dog.
Shout out to those guys
and girls.
and those guys was just really drunk and obnoxious, and they brought up us, they brought up knockouts and 30 counts. I'm like, okay,
yeah, they did. Brought us all up.
No, but they were just like, it was cool that they brought us up, but they were just really overly drunk and annoying.
You don't shit talk people, dog. You don't shit talk our fans. Okay.
Yeah, I told them that too. I
would like to point out that sometimes you're really drunk and annoying.
Oh, but that's who I am. But overall, it was a good show, fun show. Like I said, I went as a self-promoting fan.
Yeah, but you put yourselves over, man. That's exactly what you should do. I really might go to the Impact thing tonight.
Also gave Seidel one of our cards, so I can try to, so he has our information.
Hey, Matt Seidel, if you're listening, what's up?
Yeah, so I gave one of our cards.
Damn it.
So, so I did a little bit of promoting. I promoted us a little bit while I was out there.
Tonight, we're talking about the Impact Motown Showdown. Rhino is taking on Sami Callihan for the Impact World Championship. Havoc and Madison versus Rosemary and Taya. You got Brian Cage versus Michael Elgin.
Oh, the House battle was yesterday.
The Impact Division, the X Division Championship is on the line as Ace Austin defends against Dez.
Oh, Desmond Xavier for the Rascals.
Madman Fulton versus Eddie Edwards. You got Willie Mack and Rich versus OVE.
So David J. Christ.
Yep. And the Desi Hit Squad, our boy Rohi Raju, versus the Rascals. Yeah, man. I'm gonna head.
So the last members of the Rascals are Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel.
Yeah. So I might head down there, man. I think it starts at 8:00 tonight. So
yeah.
Go have a fucking blasty blast in Belleville. Say hi to all the Impact guys. You know, give a good handshake to my good friend Rohit Raju. You know, make fun of his haircut or not because it's cool. I really like mohawks.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. So put. Excuse me. Thank you, Seath. Seath is just playing 2K20 and all the bugs. Yeah, while listening to us. Really, it's not much different than listening to us. It's playing 2K20.
We all kinds of fucked up.
Right? We have talked so much about the greatness that we have in professional wrestling now and what we are finding and having as fans in pro wrestling. What we are dealing with is something that has been unprecedented, right? Nothing has been so readily available for wrestling fans. Not so much wrestling has not been readily available for fans the way it is right now. And because of that, we are just so happy. Why is it not bringing it up?
Are we announcing something?
No. Are we announcing something?
Oh, no, because you said, why would you want to bring it up?
No. I was bringing up the Skype to see if I had any missed calls, which we don't, which is sad because I really wanted to talk to the SmackDown Showdown guys today. We have had all this for a few months now, and a lot of the talk before this was, is it going to be too much? Is it going to be an overload? Outside of the fact that as we're on this show, we kind of have to watch everything, but do you feel, Nick, I'll start with you, that this is just like you're getting force-fed too much, or is it a good pace at a good time? You have the week to pay attention to it.
I think it's a good pace. It's a good time, but it's not being force fed. It is still it's tough to get through it all, just because we all have lives outside of here, and one week to the next might be different. So to find the time to do that, get enough rest for my 9-to-5 job, spend time with my kid, and do other things that I need to do, it's a little tiresome. So luckily enough, though, with the availability of like Cliff Notes and things like that, if there is something that I can't watch, which I think it's only really happened once that I missed something, maybe twice, but with the access to that kind of stuff, it does help. This week, I felt a little bit to the point where I was like, okay, like mostly with Raw. I'm like, man, I've watched an hour of this already. Maybe I'll just skip it and watch the Cliff Notes later, or just because it's becoming a chore to watch Raw a little for me, a little bit.
Smitty, what about for you?
I feel like it's a lot, and like I feel like it's a lot. We're not getting force fed. The pacing is all right, but once again, we have like certain like Tuesday, you got 3 shows to pick from. Wednesday, you got 2 shows to pick from, or like you say, you guys DVR, you can watch it back to back. Monday, you got 3 hours. Raw, you got 2 hours of SmackDown on Friday. It's a lot. It's a lot. Once you can pick and choose, and the accessibility with all these streaming services like New Japan World, Impact Plus, the WWE Network. You got stuff like Hulu where you can watch WWE next day. There's ways to fit it in, but it's a lot.
Well, I like the fact that you can, if I do miss something, if I were to skip Raw or whatever, I'm not that worried about it because, if this were 20, 25 years ago, I'd miss it and I didn't see it. I don't fucking know anything that happened. But I'm able to look at, stuff that we do, look at notes, things like that, and catch up. So it's not really bad. I just, I want to watch things like Impact. I don't have any more time to watch anything else. I really don't.
That's what it was.
You're stupid.
I know.
At times I feel like watching a WWE product outside of NXT is a chore. But once again, I have the Hulu, so I can always watch a condensed version later on before the week's up. And that's kind of what I've been doing lately with Raw and SmackDown, except this week where I actually did watch Raw and I just kind of watched the Hulu version of SmackDown this week. And but also I go out of my way every now and again to make sure I find a way to watch Impact here and there, because that's one of the products I really enjoy right now. And that's what I said. That's what I love about this time of wrestling. Like I said, it's a buffet. We can pick and choose the stuff that we like. I go out the way to watch Impact. I just subscribe for Impact. I just subscribe for Impact Plus because I like the product thus far, and also the TNA archives are in there. Like all the matches, like from when AJ Styles and James Storm and those guys were there, they're available on Impact Plus, and they have the exclusives. Yeah.
And even though you might not be a fan of everything that all these companies are doing,
just missed.
This is why my people dominate the NBA.
Jordan, pass to the white guy. Calm down.
Even though you might not be thrilled with everything that everybody's doing, it's still one of the best times to be a wrestling fan ever right now. So.
I said accessibility is one of the best things right now too. Like you said, and the power. It's a YouTube show. You don't always have to watch it live. It's going to be there.
All right, here we go. Here's something. Again, this whole conversation, we didn't talk about shit before we came on the air today. Rank it. I'll rank first. This way you guys can think about it, because this popped in my head as we were talking about it, and I'm not going to just throw you to the wolves. I'll rank first. Of the mainstream ones, Raw, NWA, Impact, NXT, AEW, and SmackDown. There's 6 of them, 1 through 6. Start with 6, go to number 1. And I'll start with 6. 6 is always super easy. It's fucking Raw. All right, let's be very honest. If you're gonna, and number 5 is super easy as well, SmackDown, right? Like, it sucks, but if you're honestly putting it into the rankings of all of these, we have talked about it consistently, how much we truly enjoy NXT, AEW, NWA, and Impact overall all the time. We constantly have gripes about SmackDown and Raw. Raw way more than SmackDown. So for me, Raw number 6, number 5 is SmackDown. Number 4, gonna piss a lot of people off, AEW. I think AEW, as good as it is for the high spots, is just as bad for the low spots. And therefore, it puts it into a middle ground. And because of that, I will never say that I feel AEW is better than NWA, Impact, or NXT. That being said, next, number 3 for me is Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling is putting on a great product, but my problem with it is I'm not fully emotionally invested into it yet, right? So you can't do that. But at the same time, it's not.
I am.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about me. So because I'm not emotionally invested, and it's kind of their fault, but not, but kind of, because they still have a 2-hour show, right? And the product that they've been putting on, I was able to catch in and out. But being on Access, I'm getting more emotionally invested because I'm able to watch it more readily rather than just trying to pull up Twitch when I don't think about Twitch. Fuck, dude. We have an account on Twitch, and I forget to fucking post that up on for our Twitch stream, right? Like
we have a Twitch account.
We have break it down right. Twitch account. So if
Oh,
you want to log
shit.
onto it and play whatever fucking game you want, fucking have at it, dude. We'll get all the gamers in. I'm all right with that. But I forget to put it up on the fucking stream. So number 3 for me is Impact. Number 2, surprising to people, NXT, right? But I am super emotionally invested into it. It is something that I've been watching for a very long time. But as good as it is, NWA just sucked me in, right? And it might be number 1 and 2 could flip-flop any week for me, right? So obviously number 1 being NWA Power. But would I pay $20? Would I pay $10 more to get an NXT pay-per-view? I would think about it. I also know it will be streaming later, and I could probably watch it on the regular WWE network without paying the extra $10 to watch it live, right? Or the extra $10 to watch it within the first week or the first, would I pay for it because I wanted to, or would I pay for it because I had to? I would probably pay for it because I had to. NWA, I was like, the minute I saw that they posted a link for, I just went to the NWA website, NationalWrestlingAlliance.com. I don't know why we keep putting them over. Like, we're just, hey, sponsor us. No. But I saw it was like, hey, order on right now. And I was like, all right, click. And I went and I bought it. No thought process behind it. It was like, dude, I really want to watch that pay-per-view. What they've been giving to me on this entire episode weekly on YouTube is something that I'm intrigued in. That's something that just pulled me in and is something that I, without thought, without question, was like, $20? Fuck it. Let's do it. So to me, my rankings of this current week, which the bottom 2 are probably going to stay the bottom 2, but you can always fluctuate. Raw, number 6. Number 5 is SmackDown. Number 4 is AEW. Number 3 is Impact. Number 2 is NXT. And number 1 is NWA. Smitty.
We're talking about just for this week in general? Or just
overall probably. And that's what I'm talking about. Like the reason
because you just said this week.
But the reason NWA and NXT could flip-flop week to week is because of what you gave me, right? And granted, right now, NWA is giving me a pay-per-view coming up on Saturday and gave me a great fucking season finale of NWA Power. But it doesn't, fuck, man. Even Adam Cole with his "You're just a GIF" line to Keith Lee was amazing.
That was great
because it's so good. It's because he is right now. It's just and it's so many. It's a meme. It's like
my bills. My paycheck, my bills, and just launches.
And it's fucking great, man. It is fucking great. So again, that's why that would fluctuate. If I did this on a week to what am I enjoying the most week to week? That's why those top 2 could go. I mean, it'll take some time for maybe Impact or AEW to possibly move up. But that's why those 2 are just flip-flopping week to week because that's just how it goes. But I'm not trying to get a week-to-week grading system. I just want to know what you're enjoying most overall, starting with number 6.
I would have to agree that Raw, SmackDown are at 6-5. 3...
Oh, you missing 4.
I mean 4. Well, actually, I'm saying 3 because
Smitty math.
I'm saying no. I'm saying 3 because it's still for me right now. I'm still fluctuating between NXT and AEW. Like say,
is there a tie?
Yes, that's why it's a tie. That's why I say
no.
3.
You have to. I would have said 1 and 2 are ties. No, you can't. Number 4.
That's what's. Right now, I'm still having trouble choosing between not Power, but Dynamite and NXT right now.
You have to pick one. 4.
For the rest of your life, Smitty.
to be part. I guess I put NXT because I'm used to NXT at this point. I'm still enjoying NXT, and like this is just small little stuff. Like just like you say, and nothing's perfect in this industry. Dynamite is still fresh to me. Like it's only 2.5 months in now.
Mm-hmm.
and they have room to grow, but I'm still liking what I'm seeing. I'm having problems with some of the ranking stuff, and number 2 would be Power. It's the simplicity of Power keeps me intrigued into it, and number 1 would have to be Impact Wrestling, because that's one of the few things I go out of my way to watch. You said you weren't emotionally invested into it. I'm emotionally invested in Impact because I sat and watched it through the time when it was complete trash, and watching where it's come from there, and some of the stuff that they're doing. Like, I'm always impressed with the women over there. I'm impressed with what they do with the Make Art channel, the way they carry their stories, and like the way they build to their pay-per-views. They actually have long-term stories that go into these pay-per-views, and some of these stories go after the pay-per-views. And like, I'm just 100% invested, and I'm invested in the characters, the story, even if they're not on television. Like, okay, maybe hope they do something with this person next week, or it's good. And they spread out their talent very well throughout their weekly shows. Mm-hmm. So Impact is probably to my mind, one of the best wrestling out there right now.
Nick,
I can't put Impact out there yet because I don't think it's fair to them because I haven't
not watching
watched
it. Yeah, so number 6 is Impact.
You
have to
with an asterisk
because you haven't watched. Yeah.
But I will say this: I think I'm gonna start watching it, and what I can do is I can DVR it and watch it on my phone, like on my lunch breaks at work. Even if it takes me 2 or 3 days to watch it, I'll at least watch it. Okay, so we'll put them at 6. Number 5 would be Raw. Number 6, going backwards.
Going back to Impact.
Yep. Number 5 is Raw. 4 would be SmackDown. I was pretty high on AEW. I've been coming down from that high recently. I still really enjoy it. I still am very much invested in the product. I'm a huge fan, but I'd have to put them at number 3. NXT would be number 2. And I would have to give NWA my number 1 spot because for me, I don't know if it's only because it's an hour long. Maybe if it's 2 hours, I wouldn't feel the same. But they can't really do. They don't do anything wrong for me. I love all their promos. I love the characters. I love the matches. I love everything about it. And I missed this week, but I'm going to go back and watch it. And like you said, for me to look at that pay-per-view, even if I have to pay $25 to look at it and like, yeah, I want to watch that. You were reading that card earlier, and I was like, yep, I want to see that. I want to see it. It's not, I don't have to. I want to. Mm-hmm. And I want to see Power on a weekly basis. So that's why I would put it at number 1. NXT, there's still a thing here and there that I'm not like overly crazy about, but for me, Power, start to finish, every show, I'm like totally invested, not looking at anything in a weird way, like, I wish they didn't do that, or I think they could do that different, or nope. So that's why they would be in my number 1 spot.
Number 1 spot.
Plop, plop.
I wanted to end on that. I know it's a quick show for everyone today. Obviously, as you can hear when we're talking, there's some sniffling. We're not feeling the best in the fucking world. Plus, Smitty has to work a little bit later tonight. I didn't want to do a full 2-hour show this week just because we're coming off of that and we're trying to feel better. We're trying to get our own fucking bearings and stuff like that. But again, anyone who's listened, anyone who's watched, we really fucking appreciate you guys because you guys are spectacular. Every fucking one of you.
Love you.
I want to send a major shout out. You know, we had our Black Friday through Cyber Monday deal going on breakingdownthering.com. You go to get any of the merch, and we were giving out 25% off of everyone. We sold more orders than we've ever sold for anything that we've had. I'm very happy with that. I can't wait for the day, though, that when there's a purchase, it's people we don't know. Right? Like, we know people, like, obviously, you know, people like the Broadcast throws, you know, says hello, WrestleBear on Twitter, you know, people all over these social medias. We know them, but we don't know them. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly am just really excited for that day. And I think that's going to be a huge day for us. There is a new shirt coming. Just after the holiday, we put out a new logo, the Breaking Down the Ring logo in black. So you can have a lighter colored shirt and the logo still pop out. You know, I know Z was talking that for a while. As a guy who works in construction, he wanted brighter colored shirts because he has to be noticeable. Well, that's for this one. So it's a black logo. It's the Smitty shirt.
Good for you.
You know, because if there's anything that's really major that pops on light colors, it's Smitty. These are our iPhone 11 dark mode t-shirts. It just really sticks out. You can really see it. But yeah, so like you can go get yourself
sweatpants.
Ooh, Grace, those are the sex pants. Hey, ladies, what's up? So go to breakingdownthering.com, ladies and gentlemen. You can get yourself any one of our hoodies, any one of our t-shirts. But we have a brand new design coming up that will be posted as soon as I get the design, man. And it's something that I think might set our store apart. And I'm really looking forward to it. You obviously pay attention to all of our social media. If you go to breakingdownthering.com right off the bat, you see all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at BDRcast for everything. Our YouTube, you guys can obviously pay attention to all of our videos on there. We're going to get more of our next day segments up there. You know, we did a lot last week. This week, of course, kicked our ass, man. All of us, you know, not feeling well and stuff. So, you know, we're not going to back out on this show. New ventures. We're kind of like had to pull back a little bit, but hopefully next week we really get into it. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. BreakingDownTheRing.com. We are your ring crew.
Not Nick Bockwinkel.
Just Smitty.
And me, the almighty one, Mikey himself. We are